Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another series of online lessons. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like for this video. And in today's lesson, we are going to be looking at the normal distribution. And basically, we will learn how to use the normal distribution table, which I have sent to those that I am learning with online. So this is the table. If you observe, the table has two parts. There is these parts that are positive. Then when you flip to the next page, you find that it has these parts that are negative. Okay, and I'm going to explain that in a while. All right. So as you can see, this is how data that is normally distributed looks like. So this is the curve that we'll be using for normal distribution. It just looks like a bell curve like that. Not like that. Let me just draw it nicely. So it looks more like that. Okay. So this is a graph or a diagram for data that is normally distributed. Okay, an example could be the number of students who have passed a test, or the students population who have passed or failed the test. So that is the normal distribution. Now the graph of the normal distribution um, is divided into two parts. So this part is where 0 is, and going this direction we have positive z variables. So we have positive z variables, and from 0 going this direction we have negative z variables, which are these that we have here. Okay, then yeah, so now what does the normal distribution help us do? Okay, the normal distribution helps us to find the probabilities. Okay, so for instance, if this data that we have has a normal distribution like this, and the data is about let me say it's about students who wrote a test. Okay, so now for using the normal distribution, we can determine the probability of students getting a 50%, the probability of students getting a 40%. It can even tell us about the number of students who got a 50%, the number of students who got maybe a 10% or so. So that is the normal distribution. Okay, so we'll be using these values to find probabilities. So maybe given a question, say find probability of z less than, maybe you pick any of these values, maybe negative 3.4. Okay, how do you find that probability? So as long as we have z here, we can just come to this column. We look for negative 3.4, which is here. And since there are no numbers here, so this is 0, 0, so we come under 0, then which is that. So that is the probability of getting less than negative 3.4, which is 0.0003. There's a point here, meaning that it's 0.0003. Okay, let me give another example. So, and what you should know is that the probabilities that are here are just for z less than. Okay, so these probabilities are just for z less than. That's why when you check here on the graph, you have the z here, then they are showing to the left. So meaning that this table is just for z less than, or probability of z less than something, less than some number. So let me just show you here. So same applies here. As you can see, they've shaded to say from z go in this direction, meaning that this table only helps you find probability of z less than whatever number we are looking for here. So maybe if we are asked to find probability of z less than 0.05, we look for 0.0. So 0.0 is here. Then 0.5 will be here. Okay? Always 0.005. So this is 0.5 here. And basically, this is more like an addition. You have 0.0 plus 0.05, which will give you 0.5. Okay, so 0.05. You look for 0.0, which is the first two numbers. Then you also look for the which is 0.5. So 5 is here. So along this straight line, so 0.0 and 0.5, they are meeting here. So meaning that that will be your probability, which is 0.5499. Okay. All right. So let's try another example. So now I'll show you how to do this. You have to learn. Right. So suppose you're told to find probability of z less than -5. No, not -5. It's a negative 3.251 or 2 point. Let me use small numbers so that you understand better. So let's say you're asked to find -2.35. Say, yeah, -2.35. So what you do is you go for the negative parts. Okay, so you go to the negative parts. You go for the negative parts. What was that? That was probability of z less than -2.35. 2.35. So we look for -2.3 first of all on this column, on the negative parts. So where is -2.3? -2.3 is here. So -2.3 is here. Then 2.3, -2.3, then 5 is under here. Okay, so this is 0.5. So basically this is the same thing as getting 2.3, -2.3, then adding with -0.5. We're not subtracting, so -0.05. This is 0.05. So we're adding the two. So we are having 35.2. Okay, so this is what you'll be doing. Just get 2.3. Okay, so 2.3 there. You draw a line on 2.3 and under 5. Under 5. So that is the number that we are looking at here. So that is the number that we're looking at, which is here. Okay, so we can get this out. Okay, so we can get these out. Okay, and that is our answer, 0.0094. Okay, there is a point there. So our probability of z less than -2.35 is equal to 0.0094. there's a point here, so meaning that it's 0.0094. 0094. So that is the probability of z less than negative 2.3. Okay, so it could be any number. All right, probability of z less than, let's say, because the maximum is 3.4 here, so maybe we can put negative 3.01. Let me use this. Okay, negative 3.01. Okay, so the first thing that you do is you find negative 3.0. So negative 3.0 is here and 0.1 is there, so we just match like that and like that, so meaning that our answer is that, so which is you go to 0.0013. Okay, so that is how you find probabilities using the normal distribution tables. Then now, what if you are asked to find, so I'm going to put these questions up as a task. Now, what if you are asked to find probability of z greater than 2 point, or let's say negative, well, since we're on the negative part of the table, negative 2.3. Okay, now remember what we said. We said this graph or these tables that we have here only show probabilities for less than. That is, we are only, these tables are for probabilities less than. That's why here they say the cumulative distribution for z area under the standard normal to the left of z, which is this direction. So they only show values for the probability of z less than. But what do we do if we have if we have probability of z greater than? So what we'll do is we'll convert this to a less than. And how we convert this to a less than, we say this is equal to 1 minus. Immediately we put a 1 minus, and this becomes probability of z less than negative 2.3. So now what we're going to do is say 1 minus, what is the probability of z less than 2.3? So we look for negative 2.3, and since there are no numbers there, so we look for 2.3, negative 2.3. So negative 2.3 is here, 2.3 under 0, since there are no numbers, so that is 0.0107. Okay, so let me just highlight it for you. So that is 2.3 under 0 is here, so that is the number there. Okay, 0.0107. Okay, so this is what you put here. So you say minus 0.0107. And you're going to subtract from 1, so this will give you, so that will give you 0.9893. So that is how you find the probability of z greater than. Let's look at a positive number. Let me see, where is the other? Okay, here. Let's look at the positive values. So maybe you're asked to find probability of z greater than, okay, greater than 0.93, for instance. Okay, so now